Good night, Sports Frenzy. Good night, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Frenzy podcast. I'm your host, Stefan. With me tonight, I have Demo, I have Shakes, Manningsman, Kems, and Ryan. Good night, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Good.
Good, good, good.
All right. Um, so an entertaining yet interesting weekend in the English Premier League, and we're going to start off with no further than Liverpool, who started off Saturday morning by getting a 2-0 victory over Burnley. And it was a game that I know that Demo for one is actually happy about because his boy Harvey Elliott actually did well, and then Trent was also on point and also one Simicas. Um, Demo, how you saw that match?
Good night, panel. Good night, everybody in the comment section. Big up on yourself. All right. So for me, it's a game that we had to dig deep for in the first like 20 minutes. 17 minutes, because Burnley started the game like on Burnley, like they were trying to go towards toe to toe. I'm like, this is not Burnley. Burnley normally sit deep and stuff, and they were pressing and stuff like that. I was like, Sean Dyche probably tell them let's go at it at the start of the game, because remember they were the ones who broke our record at Anfield, and so they came out with a buzz. But little did they know that the 12th man is back and the fans were there to push us along. As you mentioned, Trent. We had a shock start for Harvey Elliott, which I was very proud to see. And I'm glad that Klopp didn't force Robertson back to start at left back. And I hope he doesn't start him against Chelsea, but we'll get there eventually in the next couple of days. You know what I mean? And so Tsimikas for me was man of the match. I told you guys here before that Joel Matip is the top 3 centre backs in the league. And again, he proved that during the game, because he was immense. He was better than Van Dijk in that game. And we just look after the first 17 minutes and Jota got the goal. From then on, we took charge of the game. And if it wasn't for Mane missing a lot of chances and faulting his finishing, it could have probably ended 4-5-0, you know what I mean? But I was very impressed with Harvey Elliott on his debut. I mean, after the first couple minutes, like I mentioned, he was started out shaky, giving away the ball a few times and stuff. But then he just grew and grew and grew into the game. And I mean, that offside goal, that pass to Salaman, that was just exquisite, a reverse pass. And even though it did offside, I just have to mention it, because you can see the guy has talent. He's 18 years old and he'll only get better from there. And I mean, Salah needs 2 more for 100 Premier League goals, and that just chalked off, just made it, it just take the icing off of the cake. The only thing that was missing from that Liverpool performance was a Salah goal or 2 goals to get to 100. But it will be sweet if he gets it against Chelsea, who dash him. You know what I mean? So yeah.
All right, one quick thing before I move on to the next extra. You pointed out on, I believe it was the podcast on Friday, or it was one day last week, that Jota, he might not play good, but he always pops up with a goal, and that is what you want from some of your players at times, because you know that you might not be you might be having the games, yes, in terms of you might be playing well, but as I mentioned, Mane was missing a lot of chances, and if you have a player that was not necessarily playing well, but they can pop up with a goal, that does enhance your probability of winning the game. So again, Jota wasn't all that in terms of impressive, but he popped up with the goal, and that is what you want from your players.
Exactly. And you mentioned Trent earlier that he was on point. Like the first 20 minutes, like Matt Neal had him on toes a couple times, well, and he was giving him some problems, but he grew into the game and his passing was just excellent throughout the game. And like for me, I take Jota giving me the goals and not playing well to start the game, and then Firmino come on and make everything click. Than if Firmino starts and don't get the goal and we have to struggle with feet at the end. So I'll work with Jota giving me the goals and he'll link up play afterwards.
Okay. Next up on Saturday, we saw Aston Villa taking on Newcastle, and in that game, we saw the goal of the weekend, a brilliant overhead kick by one Danny Ings. Shakes, what do you make of the overall play and what you thought of Aston Villa performance, knowing that they lost to Watford the previous match day?
All right, so first up, I guess we as Jamaicans would have been disappointed the fact that Leon Bailey wasn't starting that game. Yeah, I saw a lot of persons on Facebook asking why he wasn't starting, right? But I don't think Leon Bailey is up to match fitness yet for the EPL. So I don't really expect to see him until probably like the fourth or fifth game.
It was actually said that he is carrying a little hamstring niggle.
Oh, he has an injury. Okay, all right. Well, I expect to see him after the international break. So that will be like the fourth game. Because they have one more to go before, right? But as it pertains now to the game itself, um, it was a decent match. I'm actually surprised by how well Newcastle have actually started the season. Why I say this? Because we know who is coaching them, right? Um, they play lackluster football, as we know from time to time. But since the start of the season, they have actually been decent thus far. I would say it was an end-to-end game. Um, Newcastle did get a chance through Callum Wilson early in that match. Really don't understand how he never buried that chance in the type of goal scoring form that he's in. Because really and truly, the keeper was literally dead, right?
Yep.
The keeper was just looking behind to see if the ball was ending up in the back of the net. It didn't. However, the man of the moment, Danny Ings, right? Sometimes you see, as a team, you go out and go and buy a goal scorer. Now, I know we always talk about top clubs going out and trying to get the very best strikers in the world, but guess what? Danny Ings has always been a goal scorer when he is fit, right? And Aston Villa, they have gone out and they have spent their money wisely, gone and got Danny Ings for 25, I think it was what, 25 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody that is proven at scoring goals. And what better way to score that goal on the weekend? For anybody that actually missed that goal, I would tell you to go on YouTube and watch the highlight for that goal. It was a tremendous goal. Keeper beating all ends up. The defense, all they could do is just stand and watch. The second goal, I honestly still don't know if that should have been a penalty on Lascelles, but it was given after the VAR review. Good penalty by El Ghazi. Aston Villa off after the races in terms of getting 3 points in that game. But otherwise, there wasn't really much outside of that to talk about.
Okay. The other thing that I was impressed by with Aston Villa is how they nullified the third of one Alan St. Maximum, because multiple times you saw that there was probably 3 players on him and there was basically nowhere to go at times for him. So they actually dealt with him good and it was good to see. And as I said, it was a decent match because I actually watched all of that match. It was a match that I tuned into because I was on a couple tabs and then BBC Sports World, and yes, so I was in tune to that match. So nothing otherwise. Next up was Crystal Palace taking on Brentford. Manning's one. Quickly about this one because not much to talk about with that one.
Yeah, just watching Crystal Palace against Brentford made me more disappointed in Arsenal's game against Brentford the week before. That's so I was hoping you'd ask somebody else to speak about it because it's bringing back very bad memories. But I don't think Vieira is a Premier League level coach. I know he says he wants signings, but I think he has enough players there to be playing better than he is playing right now. And I could see him losing his job this season because I don't see how they're going to score, and I don't think they can stop any of the better teams from scoring. I think Brentford was maybe the high of the week before. They came into this game a little bit overconfident, thinking like the Premier League, if we can beat Arsenal, maybe we can just run over Crystal Palace. But there was nothing really in the game. I'm very disappointed in Crystal Palace. Like, this is what I expect from a team coming up from the Championship, but Crystal Palace just looks like a team that will be relegated unless they get serious signings. So I don't know. There's nothing else I have to say.
I don't think they'll get relegated. Reason being, they will be engaged in a fight to actually hire this manager because Arsenal and Crystal Palace will be fighting for some Allardyce. So yeah, they won't be relegated. Let's move on to the next match. We saw Leeds taking on Everton in a rather entertaining match. I love this match right throughout, man. And we saw a peach of a goal from Rafinha. It was a very good goal, and I mean overall, it was a good game. And even the goal that was scored by Demario, it was a decent goal in a sense as well. Basically, you thought that he had lost possession, but managed to hold on, and he still ended up scoring. So it was a good game. Kim, what to make of it? Because I asked you the other day, and you were saying that probably they can get a win or it might end up in a draw. And it was an entertaining draw.
No. Remember, I said if Rafinha showed up the same way he showed up against Manchester United, then Everton will win. If he actually play football like how we know him can play football, then it would be a 2-2 draw. And so said,
true.
so done, right? It was a 2-2 draw, but it was a nice game. I don't remember who it was. I don't remember if it was this show or it was Manning's show. One of the shows where it was said that when Leeds normally get a beaten, the following game they normally follow up with a pretty decent performance. But they played well. Everton played well. I like how Everton is actually playing under Benitez. To me, with these, I mean, obviously it's a small sample size, but I think Everton. I never had them to finish high up the table, but them looking good. So not much to say about it. That's a good game, good draw.
I agree. And as I said, it was a very good goal from Rafinha. And the good thing for him was that he never started as a wing back this time around. At United, he started as a wing back, and it was one of the worst experiments that Bielsa has ever tried. Never worked out, so he reverted to what he knows best, and it worked in his favor. Next up, we saw Man City doing what we expected Man City to do, that everybody expected them to do. They got a poor team to roll over, and after that defeat to Tottenham, as we always expect of Manchester City, whenever they lose a match, they're going to steamroll whichever opponent they get afterwards. And so said, so done. They scored 5, which could have easily been 10, because they got around 3 goals chalked off. Earlier on, I was clapping, I was saying, yes, actually I made the right choice by putting Ferran Torres in my fantasy Premier League team, but man, 2 goals chalked off, 0 points on him. But Ryan, what do you make of their performance?
Unexpected performance, as you said. Normally, when they lose, they come back roaring, and they got a team to come back roaring against a team that is a typical yo-yo team, like a West Brom. It's a West Brom type of team that they got, that they expect to beat in the Premier League. And the 5-0 did not even flatter to deceive them. It could have easily been more. Could have easily been an 8-0 kind of game. Norwich made an average Gabriel Jesus look like a world-class footballer. So that goes to show you how not good Norwich is. And they are back up and they are playing open football against big teams. So it shows that they haven't learned much from going down. So an expected win from City.
But let's be fair, Do you think that they could have done any much different? Because, I mean, you couldn't necessarily fault the Norwich performance overall. Now, they were just outclassed by a superior opponent to me. That's just my personal belief. I don't think Norwich did much wrong.
Levon, there are teams in the EPL. Since Pep has taken over at Manchester City, I would say there are games that you can actually say it's shoe in for 5-0 or 4-0. The Norwich games against Man City is one of them. I believe there was a stat that I saw where in the last 3 or 4 games that they have played against Man City, the aggregate was like 14-0 or 14-1.
Yeah.
So anybody going into the weekend thinking of any team that the one team definitely going to win and one definitely going to lose, the surest pick would have been Man City versus Norwich, especially because they lost that game to Tottenham. Yeah.
Well, Shakes, we have a man by the name of Manning's man. We say, boy, him conflicted. I'm paraphrasing, him conflicted. Norwich maybe can come get something because Norwich beat City the last time at Norwich. And all them something. So I don't know if it's.
What was the score? What was the score I predicted?
I don't remember that.
City 4. I predicted City 4, but I did say the argument we're having is that I told you guys that Norwich defeated City 3-2 when they came up into the league.
Yeah, man,
Alright,
you actually said that City would have won. You said it, man.
Yeah, 4-0. But I'm saying that if it was being played at Norwich Stadium, I would trust them to beat City because they did it the last time they came up.
Trust
They
them.
gave them 3-2.
You don't even trust yourself saying that.
But as I said, Shakes, this was one that you could have just said showing 5.
Yeah, man, it was a showing.
Because you know that the last time a Farka team played against a Pep team, it was the exact same scoreline. It was 5-0.
Yep.
So I mean, it was on the shortest result, and City fans are happy. They are going to win the league. Next up was Brighton having it was a dominant performance from Brighton over Watford, and I watched that game, and Yves Bissouma absolutely bossed that midfield. I watched it in its entirety, and I mean, he was just class right through it. And for that second goal, it just shows that how good he is when it comes on to the pressing game. Although it could be said that it was faulty by Tom Cleverley for dwelling on the ball that long, knowing that it's right on the edge of the box, but it could also be put down that, hey, Bissouma is just so good that he just caught up on him before he could actually do anything. So, on that basis, Dimo, what do you think of Brighton's performance?
I mean, listen, I think with name Kems is very impressed with Watford after them first win, and Watford this and that and that. You know what I mean? And they run up against a Brighton team who obviously is a superior football team. The passing and the moving. Every time you see Brighton play, you think them is a top 6 team, the way they pass the ball and the way how they press. But that specific, you sum up everything. We don't need to say anything else. Yves Bissouma in that game was just like a monster, and you can see why all the top clubs around the world would like him in the team in terms of teams who love to high press. That Cleverly one that you mentioned, I don't think he did anything wrong. The press was just impressive from the man. He win the ball late off and they got the goal. And Watford just look a shadow of themselves. I don't know what, I mean, maybe because they were playing at home versus Aston Villa, why they look so impressive and they're up for it because of the crowd and stuff, but they looked a shadow of themselves versus Brighton. I mean, I guess Brighton made them look that way. You know what I mean?
We could actually also say that the reason why they looked that good against Aston Villa was because Aston Villa was absolutely awful in that first half. Because remember that Aston Villa almost balled them off the park in the second half.
Yeah, you're right.
So it could be a case like that, because I said it to Kim that this Watford team is trash. Literally trash. There's a lot of journeyman on this team. I remember
exactly.
Shakes, I don't know if you know this player that normally play for United. His name is Ashley Fletcher. He got probably 1 and 2 games for United. Mr. Watford signed that man in a brother. Danny Rose couldn't get a look in. Mr. them signed him. Boss, this team has
no man. Danny Rose is still a Premier League player. He's still a Premier League player. No, he's still a Premier. No, nobody this Danny Rose. You can't talk about Ashley Fletcher.
Good.
What about this?
Yeah, Kim. He's still a Premier League player. You're right. He's on the books of a Premier League team.
No, but
that's it.
No, but on a real, out of the 20 teams, Danny Rose can make more than 3 squad.
Come on,
right?
We all know that man. We all know that man was going through mental health.
Right?
Exactly. He has mental health challenges.
Mentally checked out of football.
Exactly.
Why am I do a play for Watford then? You don't understand.
Danny Rose don't want to play football. Danny Rose
exactly.
Football.
You know what I want to. You know what I can't. I don't even like talking about Brighton and all. I'm going to tell you why. Because I did say that they would win by 1, that Mope would score, but it's 2. But you know, at the start of the window, this guy Bissouma said he wanted to come to Arsenal. He did everything. He put on the Arsenal jersey until Brentford got in problems with him. And he said his father said he'd do anything to come to Arsenal. And the fabulous apprentice of Pep says no, he's not his kind of a player. I don't know. I couldn't watch the rest of the Brighton game. When I saw how he was playing, I just switched. I couldn't watch it and then go and watch Arsenal.
Manning's man.
Gather your thoughts.
Manning's man, maybe maybe that's a blessing in disguise for Bissouma.
For who?
For Bissouma. Yeah, because you don't want the man come to Arsenal and get relegated.
It's not in disguise. It's a blessing. Nothing. This nothing. What kind of disguise? Listen, what kind of disguise, bro?
We don't want another party
The
situation.
man he went all the way to Brighton and bought Ben White.
Yep.
Don't know if he can't. I don't know if he got the spelling wrong or anything because both of them name have B in. I can't understand how you leave Arsenal to buy a Brighton player and buy Ben White instead of Besuma.
All right,
Mannings, man, I'm in total agreement with you.
I guess he wanted a defender and not a midfielder. Maybe that's why.
But he signed a midfielder.
Save it, Mannings. When we reach there, we'll cross that bridge. But it was a good performance from Brighton, as I mentioned. Murphy scored a good goal, and they said that Brighton are on the cusp of signing Mark Cucurella is a good wing back. Demo knows him because he's actually Spanish. He was at
left back.
He said to
signing who?
Mark Cucurella.
Oh, okay.
And they're also targeting Darwin Núñez from Benfica. So if they get him in, that will be another addition for them. So they're looking good, and I'm sure that Demo will say, my boy Lallana look good in the game as well.
Boss, Lallana always. But any news on Lamptey? Remember they're doing this without Lamptey, and he was one of their better players.
They haven't given a time frame for him to be back, but hopefully we'll see him soon because that man is a monster. So time will tell. Next up on Sunday, we saw.
They also they also got back Duffy who left.
Flopped at Celtic.
You're right, and he came back and he scored a brilliant first goal.
Yeah, but as I was saying, Sunday morning we saw a rather poor, lethargic, lackluster performance from Manchester United, but it was expected from us to start in 11 because number one, as I always said, I don't see the life of me when Nemanja Matic is still in my side, and I can't see for the life of me why one Anthony Martial is in my side either. So from that basis, I was already defeated because I knew that I would have gone in the game with 8 players because Fred isn't a player. So let's just get that out there. Fred can't play football. So
your goal scorer, you're speaking to like that careful now.
It was 8 players playing against 11 players, and
Fred is on 2 goals for the season. When last time did that?
I don't care about that. But
Fred is on 2 goals.
Let me say this much. It was a brilliant game from Tino Livramento. He was absolutely brilliant playing at right back for Southampton. And I mean, he along with Mohamed Salisu were keep on telling guys that this guy can actually be what Yannick Vestergaard was for Southampton. He was absolutely brilliant, man. But Kim, overall, what do you make of that atrocious performance?
Honestly, out of the 90 minutes, Manchester really only play probably 15 minutes of ball game, to be honest. Right after them score the goal in the second half, then they have a little possession. But as you rightly said, from I saw that starting lineup, and I said it on the podcast, and I said, well, Mannings man asked me, well, if we have the same starting lineup, then I expect us to win. But if Ole just decides, in bipolar today and just pick someone who I don't know what they're showing in training. I'm not seeing training, but they must have shown him something because Nemanja Matic, I think that man was at the end of the bench. I don't know how that man reached the starting side at all. And I'm looking at me and say, when I see McTominay do nothing wrong, and when I see Southampton has no threatening side,
he claims that McTominay is carrying a slight niggle. That's what they said.
So I'm a carry a niggle, but him never. I don't like them thing there. I don't like them thing there. But anyway, as it relates to the game itself, everybody was poor. When you talk about Harry Maguire, big skip. That man was atrocious around the back, giving away the ball loosely. The midfield, no. Anthony Martial probably them same complete almost 6 passes. Like it just look like Manchester United forget the fundamentals of football. It feel like the coach leave him brain at home, the players leave their brain at home, and we were actually lucky. I'm going to be honest. Manchester United was lucky to get a point from that game because they deserve 3-4, probably even 5-1. They were that poor. So again, it's just one game. I'm not going to overreact, but Ole tricked me. I don't know if him trick Uno, but him tricked me. And how him tricked me is that I thought he was coming in this season after the Leeds game. I thought he was coming in this season with a more positive vibes, a more attacking playing. You know, but this man come have Matic and thing in on my side against Southampton. We don't know A from Bullfoot. No, come on. So right now, I don't know what's going to happen the next game, but right now I'm just a disappointed Manchester United fan.
Kems, as I said to a couple other United fans that are Martial fanboys, remember that is the man that I normally defending about. I tell you that I'm not going to defend you and carry you to my grave with me. No, not gonna work. So
I don't. This is the thing. Levan is always say Greenwood is the best finisher in the team. Him come out and say that. But then Greenwood play an excellent game against Leeds. But no, okay, I could put him on the wing because we need Marsh. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't have no certifications like him in a football, but I have sense, right? I don't know how you can do something like that. I better you put Marshall on the wing and make Greenwood stay up there if you want Marshall.
No, Kems, hold on, man. Put Marshall on wing for over.
But no, I'm saying
we can beat a man to save him life, so you can put him on the wing. I better you put Ran James on it. At least
no, but what I said
Ran James.
No, what I say, Levan, is it looked like him really want Marshall in at the side. So if you want him in at the side, then put him over there, man. But you can't put him for strike.
But I have the perfect spot for him. You see, when like you know that sometimes the players can get hot, so you see like when the players tend to get in a little bit fatigued, just make him run up on the field and carry water to give them. What a boy that no man. But Shakes, quickly, your take on this.
Yeah, my take. So guys, in my hand, I have $100 bill. This is the cost of Anthony Martial. I have another $100 bill. This is the cost of Fred. I have a $50 in my hand. This is the cost of Martial. And I have a $20 and a $5. This is the cost of Ole. Them players there, plus the coach, cost $275. Let me just state this. This season, I am not even going to bother when it comes on to Manchester United and the whole heap of cussing, because guess what? You see, Kem say the coach trick him, but it's simple. A coach cannot trick you until he starts to do things consistently. And if a coach is not doing something or doing the right things consistently, it cannot be a trick. It has to be a mirage. And guess what, Kems? The man put a mirage over your brain. Enough for the Man U fans, right? Because I don't know what people are seeing at Manchester United. Man's man talking about Bissouma. Jesus Christ. Please tell me. Why Manchester United don't go buy that man for 40 million?
Because them have Fred and McTominay and Matic. Does I tell you?
No. Guys, look on it. Look how we're talking about the pressing of Bissouma. Isn't that something that is missing from the Manchester United team? Somebody that can defend and actually pass the football, not walk past the football. As I said, guys, I am really not going to get into it. Listen, I watched the game on Saturday. And I won't lie, I literally watched the game to the end. Sunday. And right after Levan, me just lock down my laptop and me just turn on the pillow and me just go lie down and bill. Me not say nothing, me not go on Facebook, nothing at all. Because it's a real joke. Anthony Martial, how the hell do you touch the ball 6 times in completing a pass against Southampton? The second game in. You cannot be fatigued, Levan. Cause the season don't run off. So I just don't get it. How can the performance be so poor after playing Leeds? I just don't get it.
I have some proposal, right, to solve this issue. One, Monaco just refund me. Alright, just give him Myron Boado. And Shakhtar can just take him and give you a mic instead. Simple. Not solve. Let's move on.
Levan, let me ask you this. You can see deficiencies in the team, not true?
Clear as daylight.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't understand. how the board, how the coach can see the deficiencies in the team. It's so evident. Come on, think about it. This is the last thing I'm going to say. Southampton, out of the last 22 EPL games they played last season, they lost 16 games. 16. My God, it means that they only got 2 victories out of the remainder. And you come in to this season, Southampton, they actually have lost their forward. So tell me why we shouldn't be beating Southampton if we want to truly challenge for the EPL title and for trophies.
Levon, to be fair to the Man U fans, I thought it was a foul on Bruno Fernandes. I really did. I really did. Just like the Tarkovsky one when he pushed down the man and score. I thought this was a foul on him. And
I agree with that, Demo. I agree. I saw it as a foul, but I live football and watch football with one philosophy: play to the whistle. Simple as that. If you don't hear the whistle, just get up and just do it after the ball.
And Demo, we can't be relying on that.
Let's move on though. Wolves against Tottenham. Some were saying that what will happen with Tottenham going and Nuno going back to his former side, but Dele Alli popped up with a penalty. What I just said? We said Manning's man is a Tottenham fan.
Yeah, Tottenham fan.
But yeah, Dele Alli popped up with a goal and they got the win, and we also saw the return of Hurricane. Demo, your take?
I listen. I don't know if that game was Wolves versus Spurs or Wolves versus something else, because Wolves were on top of them like white and rice. I don't know. This, if you ever want of a game of playing better and lose, this is the game. Wolves were on top of them, and they just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Chance after chance. Traore come up again and miss a one-on-one like he always does. But listen to me. Tanganga had a storm off a game against City. Traore make him look like a little baby again, because he had him on toes a spin like gig all over and nobody could touch him. And if Traore could just work, as everybody always say, just work on your end product. Whether it is your crossing to hit somebody or you're finishing, then listen to me, Wolves would have been clear of Tottenham on that game. Clear. And I mean, for that penalty, they got it within the first 10 minutes. Dele Alli leave him foot in at the keeper for me. I don't think it was a penalty. He left it in there.
Run and leave your foot.
What do you mean they can't run and leave
because it's a running motion.
The man leave
one foot going in front of the other.
The man leave him foot in at the keeper.
You don't run and stop and leave out your foot. It's a running motion.
That was not a penalty for me.
One foot is going to be in front of the other.
And I mean, they got the penalty. VAR didn't overrule it or anything. They let it flat home. But then the pressure came on them again, and Wolves just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And that's just it. They suffered because of that. Like closer to the end of the game, Spurs got a couple chances, Bergwijn and Son, but they were last-ditch blocks from the defender and the keeper make some saves. But I thought Wolves deserved to win the game, but that's just a football go.
All right, it's also said that Adama Traore might be on his way to Tottenham, so
that's why I miss.
But Tottenham are also on the cusp of signing Pape Matar from Metz. They will be loaning him back to Metz for the remainder of the season, and he's a highly rated youngster. What I also forgot was that Southampton is actually signing a centre back. They're signing a Brazilian Serbian name Lyanko from Torino. So they're actually bringing a central defender. Next up, we saw what Manning's man and Sherway and some other Arsenal fans saw as a big match. They said that, hey, form doesn't matter when it comes down to derby. But, and also they even said that Lukaku doesn't score against Arsenal. So, I mean, Manning's man, what happened?
All right. So there are some similarities between Manchester United and Arsenal. All right. You don't know what these coaches will do from week to week. You understand me? And for their teams to win, it takes absolute brilliance from a particular player. I think their team succeeding and winning is more about the quality of the player than the tactical awareness of the coaches. And I think that is Arsenal's problem. Of course, I could make excuses that Ben White had COVID, Callum Chambers was
No, you can't. No, you can't. Because you say it doesn't matter who Arsenal feel, they'll win the game. So you can't make no excuses.
No. I didn't say whoever Arsenal uses, they will win the game. I didn't say that. I said that I talk about my heart and my head. You think I am no matter who Arsenal playing, brother? I'm going to say Arsenal go. I'm an Arsenal fan. However, I'm not surprised that Chelsea defeated us. In fact, but let me just say this. No, seriously. The Chelsea.
So which is it?
What I'm saying is that even if we had our best 11, I believe Chelsea would have won. Because I believe right now, Chelsea is the best team in terms of their setup and how they are playing from these first two games. I have to give them that. No team looks better than Chelsea thus far. And that's just being honest.
So why did you spoke with such authority that Arsenal would actually win? And remember that I said it to you guys.
I didn't know that the coach was going to play. I didn't know that the coach was going to play 4 at the back to put Pablo to mark Lukaku running to the ball, and the man faint, the man collapse. The man collapse. What kind of madness is that?
Man, listen, I've watched over that tape about 5 times trying to figure out what actually happened to that player.
Man, to be fair enough, right? And this is what I'll actually say. First up, Mari was crap. Number one, why I said that, he never needed to follow Lukaku on the halfway line. That was absolutely one of the worst things that they did. And you notice that it was from that same play that Chelsea went up the other end and Reece James actually scored from. So that was the first mistake that you guys made.
Well, I'm talking the first goal.
Yeah, I know, man.
With
the first goal, man.
The man was listen, play football.
It's called a leaf. It's called a leaf. Your club only have leaves playing football now, not even cones.
For the first goal, man, it was just man against boy.
For the entire game, it was men against boys. For the entire game.
And then again, something that I saw someone pointed out, and I'm going to give it over to Ren in a minute to see if he actually agrees. They said that Lukaku gives Chelsea what Timo Werner doesn't in terms of that strength up front and holding off defenders. So, yeah, it's expected still because you know that Lukaku is way more stronger and he plays as a target man.
Let me say this to Levon. Let me just say this quickly. I think we should have gotten a penalty. And I'm glad
I agree.
And Saka,
it was a penalty.
No, that wasn't. That wasn't.
Listen.
I agree.
No, let me tell you this. That was a penalty. Follow me? He impeded the player. He was not ball side according to the rules of football. But I am glad we didn't get it because
was the foot who caught James' foot?
No, but he has his hand on it. What I'm saying though is that I am glad we didn't get the penalty because I felt like if we got the penalty, the game would have ended 4-1. So I'm kind of glad that we didn't get the penalty because I felt like Chelsea took the foot off the gas because the game was so easy. And if we had scored, I think they would have scored probably 3 more goals than Arsenal, which would have been more embarrassing. But it was a penalty.
No penalty.
No penalty.
That was soft, man. That wasn't a penalty.
It was a clumsy tackle, man.
Whether it is soft or not, it is a penalty. It don't have to be hard.
That is a penalty, but Ali, one is not. You guys, when watching on the TV show,
I didn't say anything about Ali penalty.
That was Manning, man. That was no penalty, Manning, man. But I understand. Say fish
frustration, man. Frustration of losing.
No penalty.
Ryan, your take on your side because as Manningsman said, and even Shakes agreed with it, and I said it on Saturday, even before the match was finished. I said that Chelsea plays with a verve and they have a deep team that plays very well. Because remember that multiple players are missing from your team, and Ben Chilwell, not even can get a look in. Kante, your hinging isn't around. So, I mean, your side is very deep, man.
Yeah, it was an efficient game, efficient result. The only thing I'm sorry for is that we came out second half to just nullify the game instead of giving them 4 or 5. I really wanted to beat them really bad, but the coach had different ideas. But it was really efficient of Chelsea in terms of how they managed the game, in terms of how they had how both of our wide areas, wing back players have had theirs, and in Kovacic had a very good game as well. Not from a shooting perspective, but in terms of how we played the midfield. So yeah, a very good performance. We weren't really tested, maybe except for the one shot that deflected that from Saka. Otherwise, not much from Arsenal's attack.
Damn.
So yeah, we move on to Liverpool.
Dang.
Okay. Next up, earlier on today, we saw another very good game. And I mean, Kems is one that has been bellowing and beckoning for this man for a long while. Kems referred to him as a national. Mikel Antonio finally broke all of the Caneo record for West Ham today. And remember that this man started off as a right back before he became a striker, that monster that he now is. And he had a very good game. So, Kems, talk about one Mikel Antonio and that performance on West Ham.
Let me tell you something, man. Marshall is a poor man, Antonio. Right, would I love Antonio. I lead my front line right now. Let me tell you, say,
That's
as
a
a
disrespect, though.
huh?
I disagree.
That's a disrespect. That man is not even a poor man, Antonio.
Thank you. I disagree. Thank you. Kems, why even bother say that? Anthony Martial? Anthony Martial came do half of what Antonio is doing right now.
That's not a footballer. But
let me tell you about Antonio. When you talk about a forward, right? The man anticipate everything, right? The man anticipate everything. The man hungry for everything. The man fight for everything. And at that, you want the hunger then you forward, the ball movement, the interchange. The man does do everything as a forward. And when you talk about clinical, apart from the little penalty when they miss last week, he's a very clinical striker, and Schmeichel really trying best to make him score, but the man is hungry feet and
I would say he's clinical.
No man, I'm clinical, man. Well, them 2 games, yeah. Them 2 games, clinical, man. These 2 games.
Jamie Vardy, Harry Kane, they're clinical. No, Antonio.
No. Hold on, Devo. These 2 games, wouldn't you say he's clinical? These 2 games. We're not talking about last season. We're not talking about these 2 games we're talking about.
Last season was the best in terms of goal scoring.
Listen,
like 30, 40 or something like that.
What I would say about Mikel Antonio is that carrying over from last season into this season, we might see Mikel Antonio being in the form of his life, which will actually bode well for Jamaica.
Yes, what I would say is that he knows how to lead the line. He leads the line.
So, all right, Kems, I think the word that you should have possibly used was that he's an efficient striker. That would be a better word than using the word clinical, because
all right, we can work with that.
But Demo, one thing that I really noticed with West Ham this season, and I'm going to just give you the opportunity to conk Shakes, because Shakes says this man, Saeed Benrahma, is a championship baller at left, and Saeed Benrahma has started off this season on a bang. Almost everything that West Ham does, it goes through Saeed Benrahma.
I know you were going to bring it up.
Listen, boss, just to correct you, and I know you said this season, but this has been happening from them pre-season coming into this season. The man has just been.
But it's this season still, man. Pre-season.
Yeah. The man has just been on smoke. He's like this is what we saw in the championship from the man. The man is just electric. Everything that that goes well for West Ham is coming through Ben Rahman, and that assist that he had to, I think it was Fornal's goal, not Antonio's goal. With him left foot, him just whip it inside, left foot, right foot, head, whatever you want him to do, him would do it. He's just an electric player, and I'm so sorry that a top club never get him, and then everybody can just shine them light on him, because I don't think he's gonna get the praise that he deserves while playing for West Ham. If he was at a Chelsea or something like that, when everybody have the limelight on him, then you will see. Because I don't think David Moyes is going to play him as often as we would
He's
like.
going to, man.
Listen, you see him do him last season, boss.
No, man. He himself said it, man. He said that side Benrahma will do what Jesse Lingard did for them last season. He says he has placed more trust in him this season. So
well, that's good
no
to hear, because he deserves it, man. He's a baller.
Another thing, you guys realize that the role that Rice plays for West Ham is totally different from what he plays for England.
Yeah,
Southgate needs to release the shackles of time now. Make him do some more up and down in the middle.
No, but Ryan, the problem with that now is that, remember that I don't even want to get into this because this is going to take a whole entire show. But
I didn't get that.
I'm saying I don't really want to go into this argument because this is an argument for another show. But if you look at England setup, right, notice that he allows Rice to sit back and allows Calvin Phillips to be the one to go forward. So are you asking him now to switch the roles where Calvin Phillips would be the one to sit?
No, both of them can interchange.
Okay.
Hey, also
let me ask something. The Ayotsi Perez, was that a red card? Because I think that is what
yes.
changed the game.
Yeah, red card.
Yes, man, of course, red card.
All right. So here's my issue. The referee didn't even give a foul, Do you realize that? The referee didn't give.
You never necessarily saw the play.
Because the player was fouled, he was pushed and he was rolling over.
I don't get your point. Come again.
Aaron Cresswell
actually fouled him.
Pushed
and the referee
into
played the advantage.
Yeah.
And he was tumbling over, and that is how he ended up in that position. So how now do you play an advantage? You should have gone back and taken back the advantage.
No, but look at it now, Mannings. Mannings, look at it from this standpoint, right? If you actually look at where the player foot was landing, you could have seen that there was intent from Perez. Because
no, really?
Yeah, you could have seen that.
You saw intent?
Yeah, because he could have landed his foot elsewhere. If you look at it,
no.
Come on, Mannings.
No, man, I think he's trying to put his foot over.
All right,
so Levon, I disagree. I disagree with the intent.
But it was a red card.
I disagree with the intent. Why I say that? Because he's not actually a left-footed player, so it's harder to use your non-dominant foot
to cause harm,
to create a very forceful challenge versus his dominant leg.
I don't agree with that.
I don't know if there was intent, but it was a red card.
Hey, right now, well, let me ask you a question. Anyone on the can answer still? Well,
because you know that this is a 3-match suspension.
I
don't agree with that, brother.
Well, what we think about James Maddison? Because we not even know him did a play today until what we think about James Maddison? Because
James Maddison says he wants to play as a number 8.
Coach,
and he played as a number 10 today, so maybe he was disappointed. He wants to be a number 8.
Oh, okay.
As far as I'm concerned, James Maddison don't seemingly is focused on football.
Did Kems say that Sonny Ochi was one of the top 5 defenders? The one who passed.
I said that.
You said that the one who passed the ball to.
Soyeon should be making mistakes from last season.
Hold
on. Soyeon had a very good first season. His second season was not that great. And now he has started off bad. Third season.
Top 5.
But he had a very good first season.
And I mean, Soyeon has started off bad because he has a makeshift defender in Daniel Amarty partnering him. So
no, that never have nothing to do with the past.
Who looks better than him? You have a makeshift defender looking better than you.
That not have nothing to do with the past, man.
Boss, Michael called the man for the ball and him just never look up when he pass the ball.
But that's a defending 1-on-1 though. You have to look back. You just have to make blind pass. So.
Brother, top defenders make mistakes all the time.
We have to move on because
you have too much excuse, man.
So the greatest cricket analyst there, he's walking around. on the face of this planet. One, Demo, said that when it comes on to cricket, he argues cricket at a very high level.
Just in case you don't forget.
Ryan, let me ask you a question. And also, yeah, what's the producer?
Just in case you don't forget.
IQ is not normal.
Okay, say no more. So I want to ask Ryan and Kim's a question.
Did you buy that there, Demo?
Just
What
in
about-
case you don't forget.
Put that down. That mean
What about Kyron Powell in this series and this match has proven Demo to have a high IQ of
Nope.
using cricket at a high level.
All right. Well, me just talk because me gonna talk quick, right? Me gonna
Wait,
talk
what
quick.
level of certification they have to talk?
No, me have no level. Me have no
Okay.
level. No
Okay.
level, right?
We just want the people in here.
Yes. So
Okay.
you know, people come on here. People come on here in the Mannings, man. People come on here and then praise themselves. You know, they give themselves a lot of self-praise. Nobody praise them, you know, but they give themselves a lot of self-praise. Say they talk cricket at a very high level, and so. So I'm gonna say, all right, then. Let me listen to the high level analysis. So I'm telling me, say, oh, Powell score average 23 against South Africa, and Shea Hope only average 18. Blah blah blah. Right. So I'm say, all right, then. They're gonna take in this Powell dude. Right? So in a 4 innings, Mannings, man. You tell me if this a high level. 4 innings, 2 tests. This man average 8 runs. You tell me if this a high level cricketer talking. You just tell me. Now, oh, hey,
Urban.
not talk to you. Relax
Please.
yourself. Right? So Mannings,
I mean,
man,
that's next
Mannings, man, you tell me because me looking on and him say, oh, Powell this and Powell do this, and Shea Hope average 18, Shea Hope average 13, Shea Hope this, and Shea Hope no good, and all of them. Some say, all right then, cool, no problem. This man average 8 runs in 4 innings, right? 8 runs. And Demo, you can say a lie if you want. 8 runs in 4 innings. So now, tell me now, Mannings, man, why should I listen to a man who self-proclaimed that he has high IQ for a man, we are lobby for a man, we average 8 runs in a test series? Please tell me. Are you Ryan? Ryan, can tell me too.
Hold on.
No, Ryan, time for talk. I know your time, here, brother.
I wish I could make sense of things that you must say about cricket. So me not really think I can tell you.
Oh, so we can explain myself then? Because in the clear, listen to me.
Demo.
Demo.
Make Ryan talk, no man.
So him not just start, boss.
No, me don't talk. There's nothing else to say.
Like
Demo.
this is what I do all the time. Just come lob some general statements when I make no
Demo.
sense.
Demo.
Demo,
all I
let
do,
Mannings man go first.
Demo. I can understand the person say, okay, all the openers have been failing. Let's give Powell a chance. Not because he's good, but just because we want to. We just have rotate because
There you
none
go.
of them. None of
Yeah,
them.
but Mannings,
can
man,
be-
what Thames failed to highlight to the people was that we were having a specific conversation as to why Kieran Powell is supposed to start this game ahead of Shea Hope. They
Not
played in the
supposed to.
same.
Let's not use-
No,
No,
yes.
hold on,
No, hold on. I'm very good at explaining myself in about.
No, you are
I'm very
not.
good at
No, you
explaining
are not.
myself. Listen
No,
to
you
me.
are not.
Listen to me. One at a time. You talk already.
Demo,
I am very. We no Mannings, man.
No, just
You never
one
there
word.
here, so let me
Just one,
explain.
no, man. Just one word I want you to change, please.
Yes.
One word. All right.
Yes.
When it come on to West Indies openers, all I'm saying that they can. Don't say supposed to. Supposed
Listen.
to sound like they have a right to. Them no good.
Kieran Powell had the right to start this game ahead of Shea Hope. This is the reason. Everybody a ball for Shea Hope. And this was a specific conversation that we were having, right? Shea Hope average from 2017 when him go to England, and everybody know him do back-to-back 100. Him never start play cricket in 2017, you know. He started in 2015, he was a nobody, went into 2017 as a nobody, then he made a double 100. After that, he went to Zimbabwe and make a 97, and that's it. After that, him average, me give all of the average last week.
And a double 100 still is twin 100.
Listen to me now. Listen to me.
Yeah, we
No.
No,
Make my point.
Hold on.
No, hold on.
No,
You're on
shit.
an international
Can I-
show, and
can
all
I
I'm
finish
doing
my
is
point?
actually correcting you. It's
You
actually a
can
twin.
just mute in the mic.
No, yeah,
May I say,
Demo,
please?
one thing though, I just wanted to point out, you point out Shea Hope's false. Point out Kieran Powell.
I have no need to do that.
for play.
Kieran Powell wasn't
Exactly,
playing test
because there's
cricket.
none.
We
There is
may
none.
point out that for. Anyway,
Because
so
there's none.
Mannings, man, here was the
I
thing
kind of wanted you to do that.
here were the things where Kems never tell to the people, right? So
Okay.
Kems never tell the people that
Yeah.
Kieran Powell came in as a concussion substitute for Shai Hope came in and Kieran Powell played in the same South Africa test match.
Okay.
All of them playing at the two of them playing at the same game, same opportunities to bat.
Yeah.
One time she open, he must out for 12, right? In the same game, Kieran Powell, I'm gonna have the runs right here. So he averaged 23 in that South Africa series, while the man with him a ball for averaged 18.
Okay.
You think 23 is something over 18?
Let me finish my point
Right,
now.
make him talk, man. Make him talk.
Like,
Ryan. Make him talk.
In the series, the South Africa series, none of the batsmen them no make no runs. None. We get ball out for 97 and 130 yard. Kieran Powell had a half century in that game. There's no way you're going to drop him for bringing Shai Hope. For what? He
Okay.
deserved to play in the Pakistan
All
series.
right. So-
That was all I was arguing. No, if
Okay,
you come and play
Mannings,
in the series and feel, we hold that
Mannings,
to
man.
prove nothing.
Mannings,
Guys,
man, listen.
Guys,
Mannings,
it's my
man,
turn
listen
now.
to this.
It's my turn now. It's my turn now. Because we have people on the show, Levon, right? So in my hand tonight, I have two $1. This is Kieran Powell and this is Shai Hope. Now, the last time I checked through the BOJ, if I go into the supermarket with $1, it can get me absolutely nothing. Nothing, right?
Bro, this is irrelevant. What
This
are you
is
doing, bro?
this is what we have, Levon, in West Indies cricket. People are basically fighting over men that average 25 and less. I hear a man talking about a right. Jesus Christ, hold on. You know what rights are in life? Rights are something that people are entitled to. There is nobody in West Indies cricket besides a few of the bowlers that have a right to be in that team. Outside of that, last time I checked, if you take up a marble and take up 10 marbles, all of them shape the same way, all of them are the same size, right?
Okay.
So West Indies cricket, Levon, is like that. You're not really going to get any difference in Shai Hope or Kieran Powell.
Shakes, hold on. The time I run out there, so let me just say something. Let me just say something real quick. So Levon, pre this, right? Pre this. This same Powell guy what Demo refer to. And again, Demo same reason at a high level, but this is his high level. Him tell me say the reason why I'm out in the first innings of the first test because him get a big ball. That's him tell me. A big ball. All right. The reason why I'm out in the second innings are because it was a wrong umpire decision. That's a few high level reason, right? Okay.
Yes.
After the first test, Levon, Powell averaged 1.5 runs. He make a ducks and he make 3. A 3 make a 4. So he averaged 2. So he averaged 2 runs. In the second test, the second innings now, the first one he make 5 and then he make 23. Overall average at 8. I am saying how you tell me about Shai Hope average. How worse could Shai Hope have done? That's
obviously because both of them had the chance to play in South Africa and Powell outscored him. Because that was the whole premise of the argument. Who deserved to play in the
No, that was not the premise.
Listen, all right. So
the argument was should be dropped. Like the change that should be made for the second test. That was the premise of the argument.
Right.
Okay, so who should play in Pakistan?
Hold on, no.
Against Pakistan.
I remember for this test when I came on, we were discussing 2 changes. And I think the suggestion was Zari Joseph could come in for Warwickon or somebody else.
Yes, that was the only change. Yeah.
No, right. And then it was the opening spot, and people were saying, I think I forget his name was saying Brooks should come in.
I said
Brooks.
Yes,
because the argument, Demo was the one who was doing the Shai Hope song and dance. Nobody else.
That's not true.
Nobody else.
Devin was here saying Shai Hope or Powell in the matter.
Who said that?
Devin, whatever his last name was. Devin, me say.
No, I said Brooks.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I
Tell
don't
them
remember
about it.
anybody else bringing up Sherwood.
Devin said it no matter if Sheahope
No,
or Powell
and
play.
that is not true, Demo.
Yeah.
Demo, why are you being disingenuous, Demo? Demo,
Boss.
you are the one who brought up Shea Hope's name. No one did.
Exactly.
You are the one who brought up Shea Hope's name. Why are you being disingenuous on the
Beat
show?
him,
Like,
Ken.
why are you
Beat
doing
him
that?
with
Levan,
sickness.
we have
Beat
1
him.
minute left, boss. I'm really want to talk about the test match. So if we have 1 minute left, I just want to know so we can cut all of this nonsense because of 1 minute left.
Quickly.
Right? And we need to talk about the test match because a lot of you novices going to come out now and you're not
You
going
are a
to say,
novice as well.
oh my gosh.
You are a novice as well.
We're not going to
Demo,
come and say,
Demo,
oh,
Demo, I suggest you stop calling
Demo,
people names.
Demo,
because
Demo,
you're not
Demo.
getting enough-
You know what I hate? You know what I hate? When you use that word in cricket. And today we had a novice on the cricket pitch running the third run.
sorry, Sheikh.
Run.
If-
Would you
if
call
novices
him
come
a
on.
novice or worse than a novice?
No. All right, so Demo, now that you have described the
Come on,
person
man.
on the show
Better than
as
that.
novices, give
Yeah.
me a word that aptly describe Mr. Pollard.
Powell.
Mr. Powell.
Listen, Powell.
After his great exploit today, after reaching.
Listen, and I don't want to know for you see this now because
give me one word to describe it.
Kems never mentioned that he made a played an excellent innings today, you know. Even if he
Excellent?
no mentioned that today.
How
you know.
can that be an excellent innings? Hold on.
No.
All right. Levan. No.
Hold on.
Yo,
Let us
hold on.
agree with
Yeah, man,
Demo.
no, hold on.
Kieran
Is that
Powell's
excellent
average
innings?
Hold on, man.
is
Hold on.
25.
Hold on,
His
hold on,
average is
hold on.
25. He got run out worse than a novice for 23. So that must
No,
be an
it's not
excellent innings for him.
It's an excellent innings. They match back in average. So
Only
yeah.
can make me finish my points and stop
No,
the loud talking.
Demo,
Man.
we can't
You
allow
know,
you to
frighten me, you know.
people them, Demo.
Too much
Like,
people at once, though, man.
Demo,
Remember,
you can't be calling. You
Listen,
can't be
man.
calling people
All of you
novice,
guys
and then
listen.
you're gonna make
All
a
of you
point
listen.
like that.
All of you guys listen. Remember that we have people watching the thing, so remember the shouting thing and everybody talking at once can't work.
So we can
No.
finish, please.
Dima, go ahead. Say what you want to
Thanks.
say.
So you see, these guys think that only making runs because the man make runs means if it was excellent or not. Pakistan has been bowling well all series. Shaheen Afridi bowling brilliantly all series. All of the bowlers has been bowling well all series. The man them have for see out the new ball because they're excellent new ball bowlers, and it was an excellent innings by both Brathwaite and and Powell for see off the new ball, get the first, get rid of the two opening bowlers them, so the new ball get, you know, softer and easier for score runs for the lower batsman them. Obviously, he made a schoolboy error to get run out, and that's fine. But the man played an excellent innings at first. I know a lot of people are gonna come out now. May I call it Here's upon Sports Frenzy, and I'm gonna say, oh, come, let's drop Kyle Myers, him can't bat. I mean, even hear the host suggest it the other day, him and Banner, and say them not play well and stuff like
there's
that.
there's a difference between someone saying you should do something.
No,
and
I never
asking
say you do it,
question.
you know. No, I never say you say. But
Okay.
I'm saying it's going to come out now, and everybody are gonna come and drop Kyle Mears, 3 ducks back to back. Him can't bat, send him down the order and all of these things. I'm telling you this right now. Wanna stop it. Before it gets all out blown, stop it. There's no reason to question Banner, Kyle Mears, and stuff like that. So for this test match, I'm going to just give you what I think the results are gonna be, because I actually think that we can go ahead and win this test match because we have we have enough overs for bat, forget it, and we're playing for test championship points. We have 14 right now, I think, with the last time I checked. Yeah, we have 12, right? And for a win, we get 12 more, and we can surpass India. If we draw it, we get 4 points, and
And a
that's
last day
fine.
coach. Okay.
Okay.
And a last day Sabrina. Okay.
No,
Ryan,
but
your
that's we're not done. And I'm saying to you, because of the innings that Powell and Brathwaite played, the pitch just flattened out now. He look there, the ball not swinging as much. And may I show you, say when the batsman them come, they look a lot easier for
All right,
playing
Dimo.
the bowling.
Ryan, your 30 seconds.
Yeah, I hope that maybe we get some rain, or by some excellent innings, somebody come out and bat and try to save the test match, because I don't see us winning. The best we can hope for is a draw.
Okay. Kim, your 30 seconds.
I just want to say, right? I just want to say we need the well, me personally, I need Demo to stop being disingenuous and need him to be honest, right? If Shea Hope had come and made that same 23 and see off the new ball, he would have said and run out just like that, he would have find a reason and find a thing for complain. I understand that we are subjective to people who we like, but on this show, you can do that on Facebook, but on this show,
We have people for
hey,
hypothetical.
it's my 30 seconds, not yours. Be
Yeah,
quiet,
but
please.
yeah, say me I go do and what me I go do. How you know what me would I do?
Dima, give the man his
No,
30
but he
seconds.
might assume say me I go do
Listen,
something.
let me
You
tell
can't
you.
do that.
It's
Levon.
30 seconds. When he's finished, you can answer the 30
Exactly. Thank you. So I need Batman 30 seconds revisited, right? Levon. So this is how. Let me tell you how I know that Demo will do that. You see, before, you see, at the first test when Cornwall wasn't picked, he made big post on Facebook saying the West Indies will ruin at picking Cornwall. They will lose the first test. You see,
I
after them win
remember.
the first test, this is him jumping up. Yes, West Indies, rally, rally, rally. This is a very disingenuous man. And I'm not going to allow him to lead the people astray. Me, I will hold you accountable. Thank you very much.
Okay. Mannings, man, you're 30 seconds.
All right. If I were to use excellence to describe what Powell did today, then there is no word to describe Brian Lara 175, 365 because excellence is the highest level. What I will say is that he batted better in the second inning than in the first inning. And like he always does, his mind goes out of cricket and probably goes back to his baseball days. He had one responsibility to see us through the day. All he had to do, and he failed. It cannot be classified as excellent. Good try. See you in a few years from now.
Wonderful, Mannings, man. Demo, you're 30 seconds.
All right, I'm just gonna say this, right? And we're at 106 right now. Listen, people need to realize that cricket is played in context, and when them come on this show, them need to read in context. In the context of what was happening in today's play, Kieran Powell's innings, along with Craig Brathwaite, even though they're not either, was excellent. They batted through most of the day, and he make a schoolboy error and he got out. Fair enough. But the one day left in the team
Left one, you
now,
have to correct that.
you see what I talk about?
You have to correct him, but it's not most of the
Mannings,
day.
Mannings.
It
Let
was
Nice,
not
man.
most of the
Make
day.
him talk.
let him
Make him
finish.
talk. We can discuss that after. Make him talk.
All right. So in the context of what he did today, it was an excellent knock by the young man under pressure, a fear of losing his place in the team, and he batted excellent. No pressure at all. No pressure. And the man just make it look so easy today. Stop pressuring the guys, and I have West Indies to win this test match tomorrow. They will chase down the runs. We need 280 from both 90 overs, 85 overs, whatever we get, and I think we will get it.
Okay, so I would agree with Demo that Kieran Powell batted excellently. You know why? I saw a man said that Anthony Marshall played very good yesterday. So on that basis, I would agree. Just saying that these words are used loosely. So yeah, man. In Demo context, it was excellent. On my part, it was awful. Reason being, you had only one, as Manningsman said, you had only one thing to do. But through the rest of the day, tomorrow you wake up, fresh day, go ahead, apply yourself properly. And you could say Pakistan were bowling good and all of that, but at the end of the day, you're a batsman. You're supposed to be able to counter whatever that is going on. And if you could withstand it for that long, why didn't you just hold out for the rest of the day?
Yes, Levon. How comes the night watchman come and see off the rest of the evening?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking to Levon.
The night watchman never faced the ball of them on the new ball. What you talk about?
We'll bring up this conversation tomorrow. So this is where we're going to call it an end to the show. We have to say thanks to all our viewers, all our commenters. You are the guys that help the show to keep it fruitful and keep us entertained. And I mean, thanks to our producer Josh Carl. He's the one that makes this possible, and I'm sure the producer was there then with laughter. So I can't tell that much, man. The producer enjoyed the cricket discussion. One
last thing, Levon. One last thing before I go. This man up here putting up cricket trophy. Like, where I put up that for?
That don't mean a thing.
That don't mean a thing. Your analysis is Yo,
right.
good
You
night.
can
Good
put up
night,
football
guys.
club and it don't mean nothing.
Thanks
Good night,
to
guys.
thanks to Demo who reason cricket at a very high level. Thanks to Manningsman who is if here and there when it comes on to cricketing discussion. Thanks to Kems who knows nothing about cricket and doesn't have any sort of what do you call it qualifications when it comes on to cricket discussion, and to
Nope.
Ryan, the
None
novice.
whatsoever.
And the producer said he wished Demo had stayed in his class a little bit longer because he wouldn't be as he is right now when it comes on to reasoning cricket.
Oh, I
But
don't
until
need
then,
help, bro.
tomorrow, stay safe, guys. Peace out.